This time on a special episode of Highway Thru Hell. Off-road, off-load.
Here comes the curveball.
Yeah.
Jamie and a team of heavy rescue legends
Brothers.
take a look back at their toughest, roughest
Watch it.
backroad recoveries, battling deep mud and steep slopes to bring it home.
This isn't like doing a recovery in the city. It's a different world. Watch it. Off-road recovery work has to be some of the hardest work we do.
Oh, yes. The roads are very rough up there. Not paying attention, go over the bank.
Dragging a truck off-road and going through the mud swamps. Next thing you know, we're dragging each other out.
There's so many different dangers. Bring things you didn't think you need because help is not coming.
My truck's about to go over a ravine.
You're given different situations every single time you go out on an off-road recovery.
You never know what you're going up there for.
Here comes the curveball.
Some days it's a bulldozer recovery day. Well, you would never get any of that chrome in here. This is for rough, tough, burly kind of men.
You've been doing that super heavy-duty recovery for quite a while now.
It started out as a bit of a hobby.
These things are the biggest cats around.
I got my first big bulldozer not long after there was an industrial accident not far from my home. I thought there should be something more in our neighborhood for that type of heavy recovery.
What exactly do you have for equipment?
I've got two D9s running, and then I've got a smaller D5 with a winch.
It's become a real part of your business.
Not every day is a tow truck day, right? You got to be able to diversify.
When I watch you do these big digger recoveries, that has really putting you into a league all by yourself. What was your recovery weight on the machine?
That machine probably 140,000 pounds.
Really?
What do you think of that?
That's a lot of weight.
This is a huge machine. They spent half a day pumping the water out to where we could actually get access onto the machine.
It's gonna be a hard little tug.
So when you're dealing with that kind of weight, big iron for big iron.
Big iron.
This is gonna go right around.
The D9, it uses a lot heavier recovery equipment. The shackles, the pulling attachments, everything is industrial size.
You've got your big wrecker standing by.
Take one line out.
The 345 cat excavator was still moving, so we had to tie Big Green onto the back of that just to brace
Hold it.
Expect something to break.
You know, wreckers could probably do that job.
Sure, half a dozen wreckers would probably pull that thing out too, but I don't like to put that wrecker at risk because you know the value in that equipment.
Pull!
People don't realize how much mud adds to the pulling capacity required to move.
Got to be 50% again.
She's coming.
It looks like you're just about to get the thing up the bank there, and something happens.
Look out!
Comes to a dead stop like hitting a brick wall. At that point, you can decide you can try and man it over and get it out of there, or
Just
stop,
wait a minute.
have a reassessment.
Is there many more of those in there?
Dug around a bit, found a couple of big boulders. Holy frig. And tried to coax it one more time. Still, in this case, that wasn't enough.
We're fighting that boom right now.
Got a lot of weight there, man. You're looking straight down.
There was a fella at that site that said, just can't you hook onto it and drive all your machines forward? Well,
Slow down. I've been doing this 30 years.
I know, but
okay?
it's a whole step of procedure. Some people think you just hook on and go.
Trust me, you're in the dentist seat.
We released the hydraulic pressure.
Oh, you wouldn't want to be in front of that.
We tried to contain most of the oil into what you see, that barrel up on the top.
You've almost got that down to a science now. You've done so many of them.
Okay, Leonard, pick her up.
And we finally got it broken free.
There you go, yeah.
I think we got her. I was pretty happy at the end of the day to go home for a night and have a shower.
I'm definitely gonna have a shot of whiskey. Arr.
I find them just amazing, those jobs. The guy down the road, he could never do that, but I did
Well,
it. It's bragging rights, really. I mean, you know.
true enough.
We're out here.
It looks like a pretty extreme adverse location there.
Way up in the back behind Boston Bar.
I like being in the middle of nowhere.
We got a call, some kind of SUV over the bank. I was all excited to go do that.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Probably took us 6 hours in traveling time altogether. We were dealing with a deactivated road.
That's when they dig water ditches just to help stop erosion, but some of those ditches are 2 feet deep.
Whenever I can get the old Holmes truck out there, it's always fun.
That beat us up pretty hard.
Well, 47's a tall truck and could walk, but still was having troubles getting up there.
Oh, I can totally relate in that size of a truck.
What are you gonna drag the truck to here? I don't know. There you go. Oh no. Okay, stop. Now we're in trouble.
That's a prime example. You get into these situations, and if you were there alone with that tow truck and stuck, you're a long hike from home.
We'll just go together all the way up. There we go.
Are you freaking out of it?
This is a little intense. One small move and you're down there.
Yeah, exactly.
This isn't like doing a recovery in the city.
No.
You know, you need an escape truck if something happens. You need an extra man up there, maybe 2.
Okay, all right, let's give her. That's all we needed.
That was crazy.
All right, so we're at the top.
We arrive on scene,
Oh no.
and then I find that somebody's been using 47, and
Damage some
that's
teeth.
a big job.
You get out in the middle of nowhere, and then you discover that. Here comes a curveball.
Yeah.
Yeah, pull.
The teeth were meshing enough that we could use it as a guideline.
What a machine, eh? That's why I keep these around.
That's been the most reliable truck.
Yes, no computers, no emissions.
They're just built for recovery.
High-performance hydraulic wreckers, they don't have the savvy that these old machines have.
Nice. Good job.
Good job, Brandon. We did it.
Okay, now let's get out of here.
The worst part was Paris trying to drive it down the mountain. It had a flat tire on it, and it was all screwed up. He wanted to go drive that down because he thought he was like, 4x4 or something, and
Slowly! Hey!
Holy crap.
Do you think that was maybe a better option than riding down that hill in the truck with you and not on the back?
it was probably smarter to drive it down the hill, I think. It would have come undone.
Fun job, man. One of the best.
People don't realize all that jostling around, what it takes out of you.
Oh, you're pretty beat up by the time you get over the bush. That's a long, long day.
Just some good old boys doing some good old recovery.
Gonna break loose on me, I think.
Easy, easy. That's nice.
Amazing what you can do with a little chain, eh?
So, Ken, you guys have been in business a long time and have huge experience in off-road recovery. How long have you guys actually been operating?
We've started in business actually halfway through 1953, my dad and my grandpa.
It's a few battle scars in the backwoods.
Yes.
Look at that. Wow.
It's hanging right on the edge there.
You guys do a lot more off-road recovery than a lot of other guys do, really. And the equipment you have to do that is pretty specialized.
Yes, most of our fleet is four-wheel drives. The areas we go, we almost need four-wheel drive in a lot of the roads we go up into. Mission is all mountains up and behind us. They all lead to the logging roads. And sometimes you get these jobs in the backyard.
You've got a soggy recovery with this wood chipper job.
It was a real muddy, messy job, you know.
It's kind of swamp hole here.
Really soft ground, quicksand.
Oh, yeah.
He's really buried himself down. Just dug him right down is what it's done.
That unit, what do you think it would weigh? I'm guessing
over
he's
20.
20,000, yeah.
Yeah. I didn't want to put a heavier truck in there because I knew we're going to end up in the same spot as him.
Right.
We're not bringing our wrecker in here, not our big wrecker, that's for sure.
So there was no way a tandem was going to go in there.
No, you'd never get a tandem in.
Yeah.
You would be calling another tandem to get it out.
Here they come.
We brought the backhoe in, four-wheel drive backhoe.
Easy, just easy. Watch your front end. Hold there! Whoa! That's not good. He's just sunk right out of sight on the other side.
Backhoe just went bang, down. He sunk right down to the valley.
What did he do to rectify that situation?
He used his hydraulics, and he lifts it up and then can shoot himself back.
So it was kind of amazing you were doing some backhoe whispering to get him unstuck there.
Keep going, keep going. Keep up. Easy, easy, easy. Don't spin him. Don't spin. Good.
I used the backhoe then as the anchor.
How many lines to the load?
We just did a single.
We're gonna hook a snatch block onto the truck and then back to the machine.
You have to think that recovery out before it
Oh,
happens.
for sure.
Do you get in your truck?
We need to get that wheel up, of course.
Okay, just try backing up easy. Keep coming. Don't spin them, whatever you do. Just let them roll.
You're dealing with a lot of suction here.
We've been walking in that muck. Pull your boots right off.
Start turning. Start turning, turning, turning. Keep going, keep going. Yeah, little more. Cranker now.
Wow. I was amazed after we got him up and out of that hole, he went out with those chains and actually didn't spin.
That is one mud hole. Yeah. Soft ground, huh?
It rolled out of there pretty good.
Amazing.
Thanks for calling Mission Towing.
So you have a logging truck over the bank. How far off-road were you there?
Maybe 4 or 5 kilometers out of Colma, little historic gold town and coal mining town.
Just traveling there. That's half the battle.
This is the type of road where you come around the corner and you might see a abominable snowman.
Gordy and I, we went up there. It's very, very narrow road on a very steep incline.
There's a corner I wouldn't want to miss coming the other way. That would hurt. If we come to a wide spot there, Gord, just hang tough until I go find this truck.
There's so many roads that branch off of the main line. I actually ended up going up to the Blakeburn mine site.
It's on the other road?
Yeah, it's right down here, down to the right.
Yeah, we're on the wrong road. I'll get turned around.
Very lucky that somebody pointed out that we'd made a wrong turn.
That can be a big issue. You've got only so much fuel.
Everything has a triple value when you're way out of town.
Well, looky here.
We pull up on scene.
Okay.
It looks like you had a load of logs go over on a Was it a B-train log trailer?
B-train hay rack, yeah. I figured, you know, the whole load complete,
60.
maybe 50 to 60,000 pounds.
That's still a lot of weight, though. Like,
Especially on the side of a road where you've only got room for the wrecker. Cold enough here to freeze the balls off a brass monkey.
well, that valley is one of the coldest areas. Well, I know that the temperatures are always way colder there than anywhere else.
It's minus 20. Uh-oh. Oh, that's frozen. Gord, cable's froze. Those controls were frozen solid.
Wow, okay.
We leave the wet coast here. These type of things happen, right? Unforeseen events.
I know even me, I get caught off guard.
Let's see how we get that pry bar. In this case, a little pry bar and some sweet talking, and we're back rolling.
Oh, there we go.
Okay, work it the other way.
Stiff, but she's working.
And how you adapt and overcome is what defines you as a good quality wrecker operator.
Can you adapt and overcome?
All right, here we go. I had 3 winches on that trailer. Tug it! And Gordy had one while he was pulling on.
You did a tail hold on.
Tail hold on it. Pull on her a bit, Gord. When things are sliding, you just hope it's in a slide 1 foot and not 5 or 6 feet and then end up over the bank. Because then we're on a phone call to my dad, right?
Nobody wants to make a phone call to your dad, not even me.
No. Keep an eye, there's some logs that hung up in the buttons, just in case something flies up.
As you guys are starting to winch that thing up, you still had a few big logs stuck in the hay rack area, which that's a lot of weight.
And when you're pulling those logs, suddenly it releases. Something could fly up off that log trailer. So it's on the road. I was hoping to actually catch one log in the bunk that I could bring home for Christmas wood for my family, but that didn't work out so much. Woo! That's my Sasquatch call.
You really believe in Sasquatches?
I tell you, there's a possibility. I got my own little stories. Be handy to have 1 or 2 come out of the labor pool for pulling cable and chain.
Slow and easy. That's how you get this one done.
So you're towing this whole unit down the mountain?
There's not a chance you're gonna stop. It's just a controlled descent down that hill. Just watch that corner.
What do you think the overall length was?
Probably 110, 120 feet. For the most part, he was able to negotiate a lot of those corners.
Made her run, huh? No, we didn't.
But unfortunately, the tail end of that trailer got over the edge of the road and pulled the trailer onto the road, and away he went. I tell you, Gordy, he did an excellent job on taking that down the hill. I was worried because no brakes attached to what he's towing. You know, it's okay to send a test dummy down.
We are headed Highway 1 westbound, west of Hurley Island.
Good.
Jason's my brother. He's in the towing business too. You wouldn't really know that we're brothers. So I thought I'd help you out.
Now we're twins.
We're twins.
Twins.
Brothers. You work in a big area with big volume, and you got lots and lots of equipment.
We're running around 72 pieces of equipment.
How many are actually running? I've got a parked few junkers too, so.
Yeah, you do.
This has to be the longest, far-reaching off-road recovery we've ever done. So this was on Highway 3, this job, and the bank right in there is more than 1,100 feet down. The rotator really helped out because we could reach out and over, we could pull it away from the bank.
And it does help.
Once you get to vertical, you're rock climbing, right?
Any kind of a height situation for me is no-go.
Yeah, a little bit sketchy.
You sure you can handle this big city guy?
Problem, buddy.
You sure you're gonna do her?
That's why I sent Ken Monkhouse over.
Yeah.
I was born in a ditch.
The first line you strung on that vehicle was a little bit thin. What made you go with that line rather than heavier one?
A lot of people talk about that job and the winch line. The winch line's heavy. Really using the lighter line was more of a safety issue. The guys going down the bank.
It's coming now.
Do you manhandle that lighter wire rope? Or do you have the big stuff and have it take off and hurt somebody? It was a kind of a no-win situation.
So it broke right at the pulley when I usually do. Right at the pulley.
I'm like, okay, hold it here. Let's go get some bigger line. And re-rigged. We're running the larger wire rope down there. And it starts to get away on me. I just barely grab onto it. But it almost takes me down the mountain with it.
You okay, Gord? Wow. Coming okay? Looking good, buddy.
And in the end, you know, the heavier wire rope prevailed and we did the job.
We finally slayed the dragon, yeah, it's good.
The rotator was probably the right tool for the job.
But that's a job that you don't do every day.
It is a different scenario.
And a bit of criticism on that job is great. Store it up here for next time. So it's pretty rare to do recovery on an off-road rock truck like that. You know, there's very few of them around.
Kenworth 850 model, that's the biggest model that Kenworth truck makes.
The turtle on its back.
That's a big-ass truck.
That truck was well over 100,000 pounds, even empty.
Wow.
You don't really see the size of it until you see me standing on top of it. That thing is huge.
Both your big wreckers are 50 tons.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
I had wondered if I had brought the right equipment. I was looking at that truck and the very narrow road.
You thought maybe you were at your match with the wreckers?
Actually, I had thought that, but to calm down a bit.
Can you grab the big 3/4 chain with one hook?
You mean this one?
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's sloppy. It's not good.
Looked like the whole bank could wash out there. I mean, your trucks could be swooped away, and it was like rivers coming down there.
Holy crap, that's slimy.
One of the largest rock slides in Canada is right there.
You think about that.
Oh, you might not be coming out.
If you can't find the path of least resistance, create it.
We brought a lot of big, oversized rock and ballast just to armor up that roadside.
We got Michelangelo in an excavator here. He's painting us a nice picture.
If we were to proceed without armoring that hill, you know, the vibration of the wrecker, that could be enough to start a whole slough.
And we'll start getting rigged up here. At least the rain has stopped.
The road could be lost, causing a problem for us not being able to leave. It's taking that extra few minutes of prior thinking before you commence.
Always 3 steps ahead.
You have to think that at least. With Gord's truck, we were actually able to flip it over, retain it so it wouldn't flip over again. And then my tow truck really makes a difference on the tail end.
2 50-ton wreckers are pretty powerful. I mean,
very powerful in the right application, but we're on a very steep incline, which deducts your pulling capacity, your holding power, basically, of the wrecker.
A little extra oomph.
What a lot of viewers don't know is on that job, I broke one of my winches.
Oh.
And by the end of the job, I was trying to operate with one hand behind my back.
Hey, go easy, Al. That's what I like to see.
That's a prime example of being way in the middle of nowhere. You've got to be able to adapt.
Sign of a good operator.
It'd be nice to get air to it right now and get it to release so that it rolls back.
Basically, you had Gord in there steering it.
I always get nervous doing this part.
He was only in there for a few minutes to just push the button so that the brakes would release.
Gord, we should be okay.
I tell you, I wouldn't want to be Gord inside that cab.
I didn't want to do it either. That's why I got Gord.
That's why you sent Gord.
Beautiful.
We're good.
Okay.
To me, it didn't look like it had any real damage to it.
Damn, we're good.
You know, that truck, after we recovered it, we towed it back down to their shop. The very next day, that truck was back hauling again.
Really? Some fine recovery work when they can drive it the next day.
I look at those jobs as a tribute to my dad and a tribute to my grandpa.
The knowledge, yeah?
Definitely.
Seems to be quite a few recovery jobs on this back road.
I see you had a back road job where it was very rainy, muddy.
That was a bit of a pain.
You had a propane truck that was stuck in a driveway.
So you're right there. Okay.
The distance had to be 800 to 1,000 feet down the hill. There was no way I was going to winch it out with winch line alone.
Holy. Well, what we've got is the grounds. You know, things are soft right now.
And you're walking in muck, really.
There was snow that day, and it was wet and sloppy.
We could end up in trouble here, too. I might end up winching myself out.
So it was commit yourself to going in there, get him out, and hope like heck you could get back up the hill.
So you brought the Python to this job.
The Python is the perfect recovery truck. That truck has been one of the best trucks I've ever bought. I mean,
Really?
It's just an amazing machine. We get him back on the road.
Pretty good there? I'm gonna just gun it as fast as I can and see if I can get up there.
That looked like a very narrow driveway.
It was.
All it takes is one wheel to go off, and you're in a mess.
We spun out in that hairpin curve there.
God dang it.
And then I thought to myself, well, I'll try to go backwards up there, maybe a little better shot. Plus, I'd have my back end, you know, facing upwards where I could winch myself back.
Okay, we're done. Well, I call these trees Holmes trees. We could pull on them with the wreckers.
The Holmes tree, that was a good idea.
The Holmes tree really comes from the old Holmes wreckers.
Just hope that this tree is strong enough.
Engineering and physics have not changed.
No.
They were the same in the 50s than they are now.
Exactly.
Trees are trees, winches are winches.
Little bit, little bit, little bit. So I've got myself out.
So now I have to get him out of there.
Okay, so we'll see you at the top.
It's one of those jobs that just keeps going.
Yeah.
Gibber.
We spent all day winching ourselves out of it.
We're almost on the home stretch here.
So at the end, you got him out. I bet you he was happy.
We're all good? Perfect. We'll take it easy on you. Guess you're off to work now, eh?
Yeah.
How long did that job take you?
Probably I spent as much time winching him out as I did myself.
You go out, you think, oh, it's a quick job.
Yeah, you've been on them too, where you go out there and then you're there for 2 days.
Oh, yeah.
We got another one here, boys. Oh, no way. He's right in the weeds.
Hey, Mitch. How
How's
you
it going,
doing?
Jamie?
So how long have you been in the recovery business, and what do you actually do at Reliable?
I've been doing recovery now for about 9 years, and at Reliable, I'm kind of our general manager, as well as running the big wrecker.
Come on. There we go.
So you basically have a family history in the towing business as well.
Yeah, I started out outside of the family biz, and then...
Married into it?
Yeah, pretty much.
I haven't worked Merritt as much. You actually do quite a bit of off-road work there?
Yeah, there's a lot of back roads. A lot of people seem to find some trouble in some way, shape, or form.
Where was this camper recovery at? Like, how far out?
This is a problem.
It was up Murray Lake Road. It's a Forest Service road, often a very common space for campers to head out.
These people are lucky.
How far down was the cliff there?
Probably went down about, I'd say, 150 to 200 feet. They just got lucky enough where they stopped up against that tree. So James had called me and said, do we do it?
So these people are really stranded.
Middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
We can't leave them there.
How much further up?
We had to drive for about 45 minutes off-road to just get up to where he was.
So you got some decent weight,
Yeah.
probably 1,200 pounds.
You know, getting on scene and looking around a bit. How are you going to do this recovery?
It was tough, but we had to find a way to make it work. Given that we didn't have a lot of space to work with, my truck up front doing the majority of the kind of dead pull. We had James on the back, and we had him focus on more of the trailer.
So 2 units working together.
Exactly.
I'm gonna start pulling.
Just keep steady.
So once you guys get all rigged up on this job, there's really no turning back.
Once you start pulling, you have to keep pulling until that's up on the road.
Hold on. Mitch?
I got like 8 inches air under the front tire.
Keep pulling.
James's front end comes off the ground.
I gotta lower my boom.
With your boom stuck out, you're cantilevering your truck pretty bad.
Leverage.
Exactly. He noticed it right away and wanted to bring his boom both down and in.
You know, back in the old Holmes twin boom days, we didn't have extendable booms, so
Yeah.
it was what it was. There was no changing any angles or doing anything.
Yeah, you're hooking and pulling.
Yeah, pull
That's
till
it.
the cows come home.
Yeah.
So once he kind of drew everything back and down,
It was a noticeable difference.
Everything is moving the way that we want it to.
She's coming.
and then you decided to use the truck's own power. How did that work out?
Well, at first it worked flawless.
Say when you're ready, Cody.
Yeah, good to go.
All right, moment of truth.
It helped us to kind of have that rolling momentum behind the wheels while we're winching it. So it was giving us that little bit of an extra edge.
We're golden, buddy.
We're at that point now where she should be able to climb back out of there kind of on her own steam.
So you're gonna put yourself in that truck, and then you end up putting your swamper on the wrecker.
Okay, ready? Nice and slow. Keep pulling.
Keep going.
All the way to the front.
It started to move. There was like 3 or 4 feet worth of progression that we made, and I'm thinking, oh yeah, we're on our way.
Uh-oh.
Whoa, whoa.
And all of a sudden it loses traction.
Whoa! Whoa! Get out of the way.
You're inside,
Oh,
and
yeah.
this thing starts sliding back. The recovery's throwing you a curveball that you never seen coming.
That situation was probably one of our worst nightmares.
Stiff legs, down.
Whoa!
I was really impressed and amazed with the quick thinking, put the spade down. Wow.
Oh yeah. I knew right away, stiff legs is gonna be the only answer to stop this. Dig those things in as far as we can and hope that that stops everything.
Ay, ay, ay.
Amazing quick thinking.
Yeah, and it worked. I dug them in and it just went and stopped. That was it, so.
You start winching again? We're almost at the top of the bank now. Hey, hey, hey!
You guys hit that out of the park. Really nice.
Thank you so much, guys. I so appreciate that.
That was a textbook job. Amazing workmanship.
Awesome, yeah. No, I really appreciate that.
What do you think the biggest difficulties are when you're dealing with water, rivers and lakes? And
It's the unknown resistance. You know, is there logs buried in the mud that's poking up, gonna rip things off? You don't know those facts, especially because it's underwater. We're 50 miles easy from the ocean. Believe it or not, that far inland, we're still affected by the tide.
So really time's the essence.
The last thing I want to do is take a $500,000 wrecker into the river flats there and bury it.
Straight on down.
My friend Daryl that lives not too far away come with his excavator. It's about using the right tool for the right job.
We should be putting these on to go fishing for fish instead of trucks.
Pretty difficult to hook this thing up even when it's underwater.
Luckily, I had my hip waders and I walked in and I was hoping that he didn't have a rabbit bumper on the front of this truck.
There's a tow hook.
It had a good Kenworth quality heavy-duty tow hook on it.
Nice. That made the difference in
I
the
was
whole job.
relieved.
Okay, Daryl. Come on.
Did you feel the suction when you were pulling it out?
Oh yeah, Daryl's excavator was standing on its tippy toes.
Hold it.
It was a pretty good match, pull versus resistance.
Pull on her, Daryl. There's pretty good fishing right here tonight.
Big hook equals big fish.
You can't take that Kenworth home and eat it, though.
No.
So whereabouts is this recovery?
It's up at Stave Lake, the mud flats. We get quite a few stuck vehicles there, and these guys get way out there, and they got stuck like this fella did, and then the water came up.
I see you got Dylan there, and there's a couple other guys. Who are they?
Yeah, we got Craig there and Ted there.
Sometimes you need everybody out there
Oh
helping
yeah,
out.
it's a lot of work when you're in the mud flats.
You in line with it here?
What exactly are you bringing out for this job?
We sent 2 trucks out, thinking one possibly could get stuck. The other thing we took out on this is a boat.
Let's go fishing, buddy.
I'm not a water person. I don't like going out in boats. Leave it up to those guys to do that.
How we doing up there, Captain?
I'm steering the ship here.
I heard something about a mechanical failure on the Nimitz there. What happened with the boat?
I ended up, believe it or not, having to buy a new engine for that boat. They threw the cable broke the engine.
Really?
Top of the engine, yes.
Let's see what we're up against. Whoa, there's a big deep hole there, buddy.
So it must have been a bit of a challenge for the guys to hook this thing up.
You know, you're working blind. You gotta just sort of reach under and trying to find your place to hook it.
Now shackle this to your next line.
Lots of lengths of cable going on there, too.
You're out quite a ways. That's a lot of cable pulling.
Yeah. You don't know what's under the water.
No idea. There's lots of stumps in that lake.
Hey, we got a whale!
It can get hooked and break.
I can feel it pulling against the chalk.
You gotta let your lines go free, and you just gotta keep going.
We'll almost be ashore here pretty soon. She's a mucky mess.
Basically, it starts raining up there, it turns into a mud hole. It packs like clay to fill your grooves in your tires. You got no traction.
Wonderful stave, mud. Yeah, it's just digging.
So Dylan gets stuck here. What do you guys do to get out of that jackpot?
Call the Dodge.
Call the old homes in?
Yes, call the old homes in.
Here, I'll get it. You go run your truck. Okay.
Even with the 4-wheel drive in that muck, he started to spin.
Stop there.
The front end comes off the ground.
Yes. It was just too heavy for that mud.
He's trying to disconnect the truck.
Unhook the vehicle like he did.
Maybe give it a little less weight.
When he drops off the truck, he's got more traction, plus it's easier to pull him out.
Right.
Straighten his wheels.
Dylan's actually going through a bit of a learning curve because you would have known that already. You would have known the ending before the beginning.
Yeah, but you try it. You try it.
Tighten that bad boy up, I'll steer it out.
There's no easy way sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to do it the hard way.
Just like butter.
It's raining pretty hard again here. once the weatherman's ready.
So, you know, you're on this back road dump truck recovery. To me, that's a pins and needles job. What were you thinking when you pulled up on that job?
Boy, you're very close to that edge. Yep. Holy smokes, is that slippery.
What I was worried about is pulling that truck and the bank giving away.
That thing's ready to go down the bank.
Definitely.
That's a big, steep hill.
It's quite a ways down.
All that's really holding it is this tire here. She could just go on us like bang right now.
What kind of weight would have been in that dump truck?
Probably 50,000 pounds. And it's also filling up the water at the same time. That adds extra weight.
That's a bit of a big job
Yes,
for
one truck.
One truck.
I would have loved to have called in another tow truck, but I don't think we would have had time.
Had to do or die.
Yeah.
You got a big farm tractor coming that's gonna give me a hand. It's not the way I like doing things, but in this case, utilize what you have on the job site.
Lucky to even have that tractor. Like, where'd that come
That's
from?
right. The tractor is actually gonna try to pull it out at first. They started to try it and the truck started to go, so they stopped.
I'm gonna get a good chain on there.
Without anything in the front of that dump truck, you're gonna have a problem. You need that extra pull.
Here we go. Take her ahead a little bit.
When I hooked onto the back of that, I was actually lifting plus pulling it ahead at the same time.
Turn over toward me. This way. How's it looking by the ditch? Are we out of there yet?
That tractor had a lot of torque on it. It's amazing for pulling that dump truck ahead.
Big horsepower.
That's looking a lot better.
When we got the truck out, now we come to the trailer.
Yeah, she's sliding already. Oh man, that's our next problem.
The trailer is short, so you got to watch how you're pulling that because those little trailers can kick sideways quick.
I want you to go ahead, not backwards, okay? Don't roll backwards, whatever you do. Okay.
You're doing a lot with a little there. You know, being able to use the dump truck and the wrecker at the same time.
And if I pulled it too fast, the back end wanted to go.
Do you think it was a mistake for the driver to unhook the trailer?
Slide, left turn, there we go. Okay, hold it.
For me to pull it, it was probably better it was unhooked.
We got her, yeah.
That to me was pretty nice recovery.
Thank you.
That's one of them ones you go home and pat yourself on the back. Yeah, I did it.
It's off. I'm running out of steam.
Doing recovery work is a very physical challenge. You're pulling and winching, and you're pushing yourself to the max.
To the limit.
Oh.
I was thinking, am I getting too old for this job? Because at the end of it, I felt like I am just totally worn out.
Perfect.
Sometime after that job, you ended up having a huge medical thing.
I had a very major medical issue with my heart.
And you spent some time in hospital and going through all that. Those are some tough times.
Yeah.
A guy works his butt off 24 hours a day and you give your all.
Yes.
Right? Look back in time, everything you've done and everybody that you've helped out, it's tough.
It is. I feel very lucky I'm alive. I made it. We're all getting older. And time waits for nobody, they say, right?
You still have the drive to get out there and do it.
You still want to do it. I'm not a guy that can sit around.
It's really good to see you doing well, really.
Thank you. I really appreciate that. I'm still here, so that's the main thing.
Off-road is some of the best work we do.
Recovery is fun. I love recovery.
When you go to that off-road recovery world, it's way better than working in downtown Vancouver by a long shot.
Yes, we got it.
We love that stuff. That's the stuff that really makes us happy at the end of the day.
Yes, sir.
We're definitely not office guys.
No. By no means. By no means.
I love the backroad stuff. This is the best place to be. Very special.
Good job.
It's a good day's work, It's just you and the machine and the mountain.
It's what we enjoy doing. Thank you, Jamie. It's been really good to see you.
We'll see you in the back road, James.
All right. Enjoy the next off-road recovery.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
It's been nice seeing you. I gotta get on the highway again.